one of the most popular fitness supplements in the entire industry is pre-workout. I personally wouldn't recommend pre-workout at all, and these are why. First, okay, most of my audience, right, is teenagers. I'm 15. Most of my audience is also probably around the same age because of TikTok algorithm and stuff. But my first reason is most of my audience are teenagers. They're developing, their brains are developing, their bodies are developing, and caffeine's bad. Like, obviously, that's just one way to put it. Caffeine's bad for your health, and caffeine can like be detrimental to your growth and can stunt your growth as well. It's just detrimental to your growth. You're developing. You shouldn't be consuming all these pre-workout, having fucking like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine in your bloodstream. Like, obviously that's not good for you because you're still developing. You're still growing because you're a teenager. That's one reason why I wouldn't really like recommend caffeine. But my main reason that I'll probably talk about is dependency. Let's say all adults here, like let's say all like middle-aged women, like, oh, I haven't had my cup of coffee today, I'm so tired. That's because you have a cup of coffee every single fucking day. Obviously if you have, let's say a drug addict here, a heroin addict, they inject heroin into their bloodstream every single day. What happens if they don't have heroin? They go into remission, they're like, they go into withdrawal, they basically like freak out. Same thing with fucking like vape addicts and shit, you know. Might make a video on vaping. I'm probably gonna shout and scream, you know. It's similar to caffeine. Obviously, this is kind of like an exaggeration because caffeine is nowhere near to fucking heroin. It's a bit of an over-exaggeration. But you get what I mean. If you become dependent on caffeine, you drink a cup of coffee every single morning, your energy levels... Okay, let's say a person who never even or rarely or never even had coffee ever versus a person that has coffee every single day. That person that has coffee every single day, eventually after maybe about a year, probably less, their energy levels are going to be the same as to the person that never even has coffee because they become dependent on it. And if that person that has coffee every single day, they don't drink coffee, that's it, they're done, they're tired, they can't even wake up, they can't even stay awake, they're out of it. And they just become dependent on it. That's basically what addiction pretty much is. You're dependent on a drug. Caffeine, yes, it's classed as a drug. And, I mean, obviously being dependent on the caffeine is obviously not good. It's not good for your heart. It's health risks. It's not good for your heart. High blood pressure, insomnia, anxiety, stress, all shit like this. And it's even worse when you're a teenager as well. So yeah, that's pretty much and imagine how much money you can save as well by just simply not like, you know, consuming caffeine, consuming coffee, pre-workout all the time pretty much. Imagine how much money you would save as well. That's pretty much why I wouldn't really recommend pre-workout. Obviously, it's not bad at all if it's just a one-off thing or it's not frequent. Like, I never even had pre-workout, but obviously I like from time to time have an energy drink. I'm like, why not? Maybe before the gym I have a Monster. You know what I mean? I used to literally sell in school. I used to sell Monsters and Red Bulls and stuff. I made bank from it. You know. But yeah, obviously if you're a teen, I would recommend it because you're still growing. You're still a teenager. Obviously, it can have detrimental effects to your growth. It can stunt your growth. It could fuck up your heart. Shit like that. You know, we shouldn't obviously be dependent on. Actually, that's why I live in the UK, right? The minimum age, the legal age to buy energy drinks is 16. So obviously, I only have 1 year left. If you go to some random corner shop, yeah, they'll let you buy an energy drink. They don't really care. They can't care less. But if you go to like flipping Tesco's or Asda, yeah, and try to buy like a Red Bull, they literally have to check your ID. You literally need to be 16 to buy energy drinks. And Honestly, I think that's a W. I think you like UK government. I think that's smart. I think that's actually the right thing to do. Obviously, hurt my business because I was selling like monsters and that. I was like, no. I had to get like I had to fucking like put on a deep voice and shit. So we didn't check my ID, but like, you know, that's smart because obviously if you're a teen, obviously you shouldn't be consuming caffeine too much, and especially if you're dependent on it. One, if you're dependent, and two, if you're a teen, then that's really bad. Like if you're dependent and you're a teen, like if you're dependent and you're an adult, that's bad enough. But if you're also a teen, imagine like all these years, like from teen over to adulthood, maybe even more, consuming caffeine all that time. Imagine how badly that'll fuck up your heart, your blood pressure. Imagine like the insomnia you have, the amount of money you waste as well. Obviously, buying cup of coffee, like I don't know, fucking Starbucks every single day. Imagine like how much that'll cost you, you know. But yeah, I think mostly my most argument is the dependent part. Obviously, the first time you will take pre-workout, it's gonna get you insane, like all jacked up, all so like really fucking high energy. Your workout's gonna be insane. Your workout's gonna be lit. Your fucking PR's gonna go through the roof probably. Your energy will be insane. But let's say you take pre-workout every single time you go gym. Pre-workout has very high numbers, very high quantities of caffeine, and you take it every single time you work out consistently without stopping. Let's say you've been doing it for half a year. You're right, you've been taking pre-workout every single time. Your energy levels will literally be the same as when you didn't even take pre-workout because you become dependent on it. And yeah, obviously will still be detrimental to your health, and obviously waste a shit ton of money. Yeah, also like fuck up your heart, blood pressure, insomnia, stress, anxiety, all these flipping, I don't know, negative health effects, stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I wouldn't really recommend pre-workout. Obviously, if it's just like a one-time thing, obviously if it's a one-time thing, it's not really bad at all. I'd actually recommend just trying it. Okay, just try it, but don't be on it consistently. Yeah, hopefully you find this helpful. That's all I have to say in a bit.